So we just left off at the main difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And here we're looking at prokaryotic cells are pro-no, meaning no nucleus. Eukaryotes are you-do, meaning that they do have a nucleus. Some additional differences are their size. Okay, so here you can see that prokaryotic cells are quite a bit smaller. Here, this is a white blood cell, and it is chasing this little tiny bacteria and engulfs it and eats it up. Okay, so you can see there's quite a big size difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Again, including, in addition to the nucleus being membrane bound, the eukaryotic cells have other membrane-bound organelles, and prokaryotic cells do not. Okay, you can probably see that this prokaryote here is about the same size as just one of these little organelles inside the eukaryotic cell. So it's quite a bit smaller, no room for additional membrane-bound organelles. When we're looking at unicellular versus multicellular, prokaryotic cells are only unicellular organisms. You don't find any multicellular prokaryotes. That's a pretty reliable rule in science. Eukaryotic cells, however, can be either unicellular or multicellular. So if you remember the slide that I showed you earlier of that really large unicellular organism, that amoeba, that was a eukaryotic unicellular organism. And then bacteria, which are prokaryotes, are really, 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 really tiny. Okay, so here is our prokaryotic summary. Pro, no, meaning no nucleus. Prokaryotes contain ribosome, cytoplasm, cell membrane, and sometimes a flagella. So a flagella, since they're unicellular, of course they don't have feet. A flagella is a little tail. It helps them to move around. They may also have little hairs called cilia. Lots of unicellular organisms have that, not just prokaryotes. Ribosomes are these little dots. They're the protein makers. Protein is like your strength and your doers inside of your cell. They do things. DNA is the genetic code. It's just floating free. There's no nucleus around it. And then all this light blue stuff is the cytoplasm. The cell membrane is going to be this green layer here, and you can see that there's some other layers. They're called cell walls outside of the prokaryotic cell. They don't really determine what gets in and out. They're just like extra protection from other elements, but we're talking about things that can get in and out of the cell. That cell membrane is what does the job there. Okay, they are less complicated and much, much smaller than eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotes can be rod-shaped, right, like this one, spiral-shaped like this one, or spherical or circle-shaped like this one. All right, eukaryotic summary. So you do have a nucleus. Eukaryotes do have a nucleus. They have other membrane-bound organelles. They are more complex than prokaryotic cells. They can be simple or and unicellular, like this one, or they can be multicellular and have lots of layers, like us, be multicellular. All plants, animals, humans or animals, are eukaryotes. So when you think of a creature that you see, it's probably a eukaryote, and it's probably multicellular. And that is it, guys. So this little video at the first is a little song that can help you to remember the prokaryotes and eukaryotes if you want to listen to it. Hopefully at this point you have gotten most of your notes on, or your answers on the note slide answered. Take a few minutes to go back and review that, and then look at the next two slides that follow that and complete those as when you're finished.